She's sharing my screen. I hope my screen is visible to you people.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. So today we will see like what is update set and what is purpose of that, and like what is the use of that in service now. Okay. So first of all, like when we are doing any development in our development instance, like as I told you in first and second class, we will have separate instance for development. Okay. For example, this one like dev 11473 is a development instance, and again then we will have one more instance, that is test instance, and we will have a UAT, one separate instance for UAT and one prod instance. So and actually it will not have name like this, like dev, it will not have this naming. When your company buys a original domain, original ServiceNow instance, it will have company's name. Example, my company name is ABC, so my instance name will be www.abc abc sorry dev.servicenow.com. So in same way you will have uh sorry you will have test instance, and just check in URL, your company name and whole URL will be same, just this dev, test, and this stage word will be changed. So by that you can understand if this is state or a test or prod. If that is prod, it will be directly with company name, it will not have dev, test or stage, it will directly have company name dot servicenow.com. Okay, and we do our development in this instance, development instance. Okay, and whatever development we do in our development instance, we have to move that to test instance, right? And after test, their testing QA team will test our application if everything is working fine or not. And if that is okay, then they will move that update set, like they will move update set which is created in dev instance to test instance, sorry, stage instance. In stage instance, UAT people will check your work, like if application is working or not according to their requirement. And if that passes, then the update set which is created in dev instance, finally they will move to production. Okay, so this is the cycle of all the development which we do in our service now. Okay, so as you people know, in .NET we have TFS for moving the code, right? When we commit from one area, that will get uh, like that we can retrieve in other development source. Like what we call that, actually I forgot that. But you understood the concept, right? We are doing development in one instance and we have to move that to other instance, so we use the concept of update set. So clear, like basic purpose of update set.
Yes, Gautam.
Okay, so that I have here. So and some companies have 4 instance, and some companies will have development, test, and directly production. So that will depend on your company, if you have they will have stage instance or not. And sometimes some companies will have sandbox. Like sandbox is like whenever they are having some like how we can explain sandbox means, uh, yeah, that will be a separate instance, not a development, test, UAT or production. It will be a separate, like a backup thing. Okay, so they will keep a backup in sandbox. For example, like as I told you, like ServiceNow updates it sorry, ServiceNow upgrade its version for every 6 months, like from Jakarta, from J to P to uh, sorry, from A to it is in it is in Paris version, I guess. No, sorry, it is in Cubic version. So for every 6 months, they upgrade their version. So we as a developer, we also upgrade our client's instance, right? So how we upgrade? First, we will move like whatever we have in our production, we will move that to sandbox, and that concept is called as cloning. Okay, that is a separate concept. So you will hear that clone option whenever you work in ServiceNow, like as a ServiceNow developer. So when you want to upgrade your instance, first you will clone your production with that sandbox. So whatever that is in production, that will move to sandbox, and there they will check if everything from production has come to sandbox or not. Just it is like a backup, and that if that comes, they will upgrade production instance from from Paris version to Cubic. Okay, so if that works, if that is fine, so what they will do, they will then move that sandbox, they will clone with dev. So whatever that is in sandbox, that will get moved to development, and again they will clone with this, and again they will clone with this. So all the four instances will have same data and same configuration, and this cloning part occurs for every 6 months in an organization, because they want all the four instances to have same configuration and same development, right? So they clone all the child instance with prod instance. Okay, so that is the purpose. That is a clone, that is a separate option, and you will hear that in your organization for every 6 months, and it will be a process of 15 to 20 days. Okay, and we will see that about cloning in last session. Okay, okay, this is about update set, and what are the things that are captured in update set, and what are the things that are not captured in update set. So let's list out those. Captured. So it will capture tables, like whenever we create a table, it will capture that. Okay, so whenever we create fields for our table, it will also capture that, like if that is a string or whatever, it will capture all those configuration. Okay, if we make that mandatory, read only, and visible or false, it will capture, and even those choice and it's dependent, it will capture all those things. Then it will capture form layout, like we have seen form, how we can configure form layout, right? So it will capture that as well. And it will capture list layout, like if you make any changes in list layout, it will capture, but it will not capture personalized list, which I have told you people, right? So it will capture only, like we have option like a list layout and list control, it will capture that one, but it will not capture personalized list. Okay, then coming to scripting part, like we have a script called as client script, so it will capture that client script. Then we have some like script include, so it will capture that. So wholly, like we can say, it will capture scripts, all the scripts, or so it will capture all the scripts. And like we have a concept called as workflow in ServiceNow, so it will capture that. But it will capture workflows which are published, like you can like I will show you what are published workflows and what are unpublished workflows. So that we can say in some after I think 15 classes. Okay, so it will capture workflow. And system properties I have shown you, right? Like we can set some system properties, so even that system property will get captured. System properties. So these are the things that will get captured in our update set. So clear about this? Because we have seen table, field, form layout, list layout. Just we are remaining with scripts, workflow, and even system property I have covered. So clear? And I will show you example, like we can see live example. We will create a table, we will create a form, we will make some changes on form layout, list layout, and we can check if that are getting captured or not. So what are the things that will not get captured? So coming to this, first thing is like when we create a incident, like a incident ticket, problem ticket, or any type of ticket, it will not capture. Like in simple words, we can say if we insert any record, it will not capture that record. Okay, it will capture only configuration things, scripts, but it will not capture a record. Then it will not capture users. Like if you create any user, if you make changes on any user, it will not capture that because that user is a record, right? So that is the thing. And groups, it will not capture groups. Like it will not capture email. Like as I told you, in incident, whenever we create an incident, whenever we resolve any incident, it will throw emails. So it will not capture that emails in update set. Then we have a concept called as schedule job. Like we will see what is schedule job. But in simple words, by this word, you can see like we can schedule something and it will run on that particular date and time, right? So that is schedule job. But we can say we can see what are the things we can do using schedule job in next 1 or 2 weeks. And this is one more thing, CI. Like as I have told you, like we have configuration items, CMDB thing, which are related to networking and server. It will not capture that data because those are also record. Yeah, that's all. And like whatever that is record, like incident, problem, change, all those are record. Or if you create a new table and if you are creating a ticket in that, that will not get captured. User also is a record in sys_user table. Group also is a record in group table. Email, all those are records, so those will not get captured. So clear till here, like what are the things with the list, what will get captured and what will not get captured? Or any queries till now? Okay, then I am taking as okay. Okay, and
Gautam, like if we want to read Gautam,
yes, Rohit.
yeah. So if we want to revert any change, like initially I have deployed something, like I have updated that set, and if I want to remove that changes, is that possible?
Yes, it is possible. Like you can do in 2 ways. Like if you have made some changes, like you have added some code which is not working and which is affecting some production. Okay, so there will be an option to back out your update set. Like if you click on that back out, so or whatever you have retrieved in your test, if for example, if you moved update set from dev to test and something gone wrong, okay, so in that case, in urgent cases, you will have a backout option on the top. If you click that on that particular update sets backout, all the changes that has made because of that update set in test instance will get revert back. Okay, but that is not recommended every time, because even if that gets back out, somewhere it corrupts your system. Okay,
Got
so
it.
yeah, so that is not the thing which we need to follow every time. And yeah, and if that is the case, like if you think you have moved a update set and that is not working properly, so instead of backing out every time, create a new instance in your dev instance, like say update set number 2, and capture all the correct configurations again, and then move that second update set to test instance. So that will override the existing update set. It will make the changes, right? And your system will work properly. So you can do in these two ways, and we will see, we will even back out a update set, and we will move one or two update set with same configurations, and let's see what happens. Okay, and this was about update set. And next, for our purpose, I am taking two instances. Where was that? Yeah, so here. So I have two instances. I am taking my instance as development instance. Okay, development instance. And this second one, 74539, I am taking this as test instance. So I will develop something here, and then I will try to move that changes to this second instance, and let's see how that get moves. And one more thing before that, like in real time, where like for development, we will get some user stories, right? Example, we say our user story is 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, if this is your user story, okay, then how we will, like, what is the best practice we follow for creating update set? We will see that. So how you will create update set? In left navigator, type update, and then update and set, update space set. And this will be only available for admin, because admin is the only person who can do all the development and configuration, right? So because of that, so when you go to when you type update space set, you will have this option, local update set. So click on that local update set, and we will see this remaining option one by one. So when you click on this local update set, you will get this option. Okay, then click on new. And here, like as I told you, our user story number is, example, this one, us 1 2 3 4 5. So we follow the practice, like user story, that number dash, then gc, like I'm giving my shortcut Gautam Salkikar gc, and then like application, global or any other application. If that is AES, I will give short form as AES, AESF, because that there are 2 or 3 AES. So I will give as AESF, AESP, AESW, so to understand like which application it is under. Okay, so for here it is global, right? So I will give global. This is the naming convention mostly we follow in every organization, but you can check what your organization follows. Some organization doesn't follow this naming, this between one, and some some organizations don't give this name. But best practice is to give your user story hyphen your name shortcut. So whenever, like because on a same project around 10 developers will be working, right? So just to make that easy, if you need anything to find in future, you can directly see your update set. Okay, and global. And here you can see your application is global. Okay, and here state by default it will be in progress, and we will see this release date and description. Like description, if you are for example, your user story is to create a new table. So I will copy paste that user stories description here. Like it will be like, create a new table, we can say ServiceNow training. If I want to create a new table, ServiceNow training, I'm giving that description. Because after you leave your organization, if someone wants to check what are the update sets you worked and what is under that particular update set, so it will make this description will make him easy to understand. Okay, so there are two options to save this. Like one is directly you can save from here or submit, and they like submit, you can submit, or here is one more option, submit and make current. So when you submit and make current, and here observe here, like for now it is default update set, but when I click on submit and mark make current, so our update set will be saved, and you can see your current update set has been changed to this update set. Okay, and on the top you can see my update set is getting reflected. And one more thing, just I want to remind you again, like how by default you will not see these two options on the top. So from where you get like on the right hand side you will have this setting option. So in that, go to your developer, and here we will have this yes or no thing, like checkbox thing. So just click on this. This is about applications, and the second one is about update sets. So if you check that, it will appear on the top of your form. Okay, so now my update set is this one which I have created. So I will open that in a new form, so you can observe every time what are the changes happening. And now I'm going to tables. I'm giving a service now training, and I am not giving anything, like this is just for demo purpose, right? So I am not extending any table, or I am not creating any module. I'm just simply saving it. Okay, so this got saved, and this is our table name. Okay, so let's go to our update set. So this is our update set, right, which we created. So on the bottom we have these options like customer updates, update set logs, and child update sets. So now you can see there is nothing because we haven't reloaded our form. So let me refresh this list, and now you can see here are some options. Okay, and you can see there are 16 update customer updates. So I have created just one table, but you can see there are 16 updates. So what are those? Like application menu and modules, because whenever we are creating any table, by defaultly that application and menu option you can see on the side, right, that is getting appeared. And then my table got created. Then dictionary of table, like dictionary of table, you know that from here you can see dictionary, which we have seen like for audit and to make that display true or false, right? That dictionary will the dictionary got created. And field label, so we have not created any field, but what is this field label? So I told you last time that sys underscore id is the default field that will get created for each and every table. So that is the one. And as I told you, like for access control, 4 ACLs will get created by default. So I have done nothing, but I have not even changed the setting here, right? So create access control was already ticked. So this role got created. And because of this, all automatically these 4 ACLs got created, right? So that all get captured here, 4 ACL and access role. So 4 same access roles got created, and you can observe that here. This is the role, and for each ACL it will have role, right? So 4 times access role got created. So again, application, menu, module, and role. Okay, so this is my application menu, this is my module, this is my user role, which got created by default. So this is how all the changes you made or all the configuration you made will get captured on update set. So let's add one field. For example, I'm just giving this and saving. So there won't be any change, but still let's have a look. more 3 changes has been created and created on. I am making that as a descending. Yeah. So here are the new 3 changes that got created on 15/6/21 at 22. That is 10 p.m. Okay. That is dictionary again, field label again, because that number field will get created. Yeah. And here is your number field, and the target name is SER because it will have prefix as SER. Okay. So clear, whatever we make changes, that will get captured. So for now, I am making a field here. And if our meeting ends, I will send you a new link in 5 minutes. Okay. So I am giving some here like a name, field, and I am keeping that as string. And maximum length I am giving as, sorry, this one as 40. And it got created, right? So let's again go to our update set and let's have a look if something gets changed. I think I have to save this form again. And this is a name field which we created. So let's check here. Yes. So you can see again dictionary, ServiceNow training dot name. And here is your field label that got created, right? So that are the updates. Okay. So I will go to, if example, this is my only user story. Just I have to create a table and I have to add some field. So this is done, right? So my work is done. So what I will do, I will complete my update set, change the status to complete, and then I will save it. Okay. And now you observe, like on the top, it was this update set, but I am reloading the form. And because I have completed my update set, you can see your current update set has been changed to default global because this update set was closed by you. Okay. So here you can see it is back to default because this update set is closed. So what we will do after that? So just I'm copying this name for my understanding. So here you can see after you complete the state, you will get this option, export to XML. I'm clicking on that. So it will download a XML file. Okay. So that is my update set. I am opening that in my systems folder. So this is how it will get captured. And I am renaming it because I want to understand. You can see this is some other name, some digits, which I can't understand. If I have 10 update set, I can't find what is the difference between that. So I am renaming that again. And this is a practice we follow in real time also. Okay. So this is my update set, which I have downloaded in my system. So I will open another instance, which is of Sharath. I am opening that in incognito mode. Okay, if that is not working, I will open here. So second instance. So this is my test instance, which I am using Sharaths. So I am going to this edge. Then I am giving this URL. And ID. Sharath, password is 1234, right?
Yes, Gautam. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. So I am logging in here. So this is Sharath instance. Okay. And this is his update set. I think he has created by himself. Okay. So how we will retrieve? So again, go to your, you can directly give update set also. So in update set, you will have this retrieved update set option. Okay. So go to that retrieved update set option. On the bottom, you will have import update set from XML. So I'm clicking on that. Here I have to choose a file, and I am going to my downloads, and here I am selecting my update set, which I have downloaded from my development instance. So I am clicking on open and upload that. Okay. So here you can see that got uploaded, and here state is loaded because I have not done anything. I have just uploaded that. So I have to open that, and here on the top you will have this option preview update set. So I am clicking on this. So what is the purpose of preview update set? Actually, it will check if it has any errors and if that is compatible with your test instance. If that has compatibility, it will show success succeeded in that 100%. And if that has any issues, it will come in red color and it will show you some errors. Okay. So you have to read those errors, and you will have option on the bottom to commit a update set or to commit or not. You will have 4 to 5 options. Okay. So I have clicked on preview. So preview, that is not completed. I have just previewed, and you can see we preview just to know if that has any issues or not, if that is okay or not before committing. Okay. And I have previewed, and you can see customer updates. We have made some 21 updates, right? So all those are appearing here. So on the after preview is completed successfully, we will have this commit update set option on the top. So I'm clicking on that. So after committing update set, all those things will get reflected in test environment. Okay, update set committed. So I'm closing that. So now I am going to tables. So this is our test instance, right? We are treating this as test instance. So let's have a look if something got created or here or not. So updated. So here you can see ServiceNow training, which we have created in our dev instance, that got carried here because of update set. And all this, like you can see name, number, like this field, everything got moved because of update set. So, clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I will share you link, and we will connect again in 2 minutes before our call ends. Okay. So I'm stopping for now.